Hello guys, welcome once again to Learning with Prep Class. I am VC and I am a Prep Class tutor. In this video, I'll be solving questions 81 to 85 of the AKWA Pre-Vocational Studies Agricultural Science for the year 2016. Subscribe to this channel. Also, make sure that you like and comment on this video. Okay, so let's begin. The first question is question 81. Dash can be defined as the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower. A. Transportation. B. Photosynthesis. C. Fertilization. D. Pollination. So for us to be able to answer this question, we need to find out the meaning of each of the following options. Okay, so let's start with transportation, which is the first option. Transportation is the movement of humans, animals, or goods from one place to another place. Okay, so that's transportation. So that's not the answer, right? Okay, so what about photosynthesis? What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants get energy from sunlight and use it to convert carbon dioxide and water into food. Okay, so photosynthesis is the process by which green plants make their food. But that's not the correct option either. Okay, so what about fertilization? Fertilization is the process of sexual reproduction. It is the fusion of the male gamete, that is the pollen, with the female gamete, that is the ovum, to form a diploid zygote. So a zygote is a fertilized egg cell. But that's not the correct option either. So let's find out the meaning of pollination. So pollination is the transferring of pollen grains from the male anther to the female stigma of a flower. So that's the correct option, right? Okay, yes. So pollination can be defined as the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower. So the correct option is option D. Check. Question 82. A soil type which particle size is less than 0.002 millimeter is called a dash soil. A. Clay. B. Silt. C. Gravel. D. Fine sand. So for us to be able to find the correct answer, we need to know the size of each of the particles. Okay, so clay particles are smaller than 0.002 millimeter in diameter. So of course, clay particles is the right answer. Okay, but let's still find out the sizes of the other particles. So silt particles are from 0.002 to 0.05 millimeter in diameter. So this means that silt particles are bigger than the clay particles. Then, what is the size of the sand particles? Sand particles range from 0.05 to 2.0 millimeter. So this means that sand particles is even bigger than silt particles. Then, particles that are larger than 2.0 millimeter are called gravel or stones. Okay, so that means that gravel or stones are the biggest. Then next to sand particles, next to silt particles, then the smallest particle is the clay particles. Okay, so clay particles are smaller than 0.002 millimeter. So the correct option here is option A. A soil type which particle size is less than 0.002 millimeter is called a clay soil. So clay particles are less than 0.002 millimeter. So the correct option here is option A. Check. Question 83. Which of the following is not a forest product? A. Firewood. B. Herb. C. Pulpwood. D. Clay. Okay, so first of all, what is a forest product? From the name forest product, that means it has to be gotten from the forest, right? It has to be a product from the forest. Okay, so a forest product is any material that is derived from a forest, used for direct consumption or for commercial use. Examples of forest products are wood that are used for our furniture, okay? Wood fuel, such as charcoal and firewood. These are used for cooking, right? Then wood pulp, this is used for making paper. Herbs, these are used as medicines. Feeds, these are food for livestock. Fruit is also a source of food for both animals and humans. Okay, so all of these are examples of forest products. But here in the options, firewood, herbs, and pulpwoods are all forest products. But clay is not a forest product. So this means that the correct option here is option D. Which of the following is not a forest product? The answer is clay. So the correct option is option D. Check. Question 84. The coexistence between plants and animals in the forest is referred to as dash. A. Forest management. B. Wildlife conservation. C. Tenure system. D. Forest protection. Okay, so first of all, let's find out the meaning of all of these options to be able to know the answer to this question. So the first one is forest management. What is forest management? Forest management is the branch of forestry that involves the management, protection, and regulation of forests and the utilization of their products. So this means that forest management is not the answer here because forest management does not define the question. Okay, so what about wildlife conservation? Wildlife conservation is the practice of protecting plant and animal species and their habitat. So we have a lot of wildlife conservation. There is one in Lekki called the Lekki Conservation Center, LCC. So that's actually an example of a wildlife conservation center. Okay, so wildlife conservation does not define the question. So the answer is not wildlife conservation. So the next option is tenure system. This is a system that involves the growing of both agricultural and forestry crops. So this doesn't define the question too. Okay, let's look at the last option, which is forest protection. What is forest protection? This is a branch of forestry which is concerned with the preservation or improvement of a forest and prevention and control of damage to forest by natural or man-made causes like forest fires, plant pests, and adverse climatic conditions, which is global warming. Okay, so forest protection also does not define the question because the question says the coexistence between plants and animals in forest is referred to as. So there is no correct option. None of the following options define the question. Okay, so there is no correct option for question 84. All right, so let's move on to question 85. In vegetable garden, wheelbarrow is used for the following except A. Moving manure to the farm. B. Sowing of seeds. C. Transporting of seedlings. D. Feeding animals. Do you know what a wheelbarrow is? Oh, it's possible you don't know. Okay, so whether you know or not, this is a wheelbarrow. This is a wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow is a small cart with a single wheel at the front. It has just one wheel at the front and two supporting legs. These are the two supporting legs and two handles at the rear. So those are the two handles. It is used for various purposes in gardening, such as moving manure to the farm, sowing of seeds, transporting of seedlings, and so many other purposes. But wheelbarrow is not used in feeding animals. Wheelbarrow is not used in feeding animals. Okay, so the correct option here is option D, feeding animals. Okay, so in a vegetable garden, wheelbarrow is used for the following, such as moving manure to the farm, sowing of seeds, transporting of seedlings, but it is not used in feeding animals. So here the correct option is option D, feeding animals. Check. I hope you enjoyed this video and you were able to learn a lot. Please don't forget to like and comment on this video. Also, subscribe to this channel to enable you to get access to more videos like this. Till I come your way next time. Bye.